Hey everybody, I want to go through with you today 26, that's right, 26 positional exercises, teaching positional play through 26 simple exercises. So I'm going to try to do this in only a couple minutes. So here what we have is we have 3v3 plus 2. The 2 plus are on the outside. This would be one of your center mids in the middle, always finding those spaces, looking for that good body orientation to keep the ball moving. Now it's the same thing. It's still three against three, but look what we did. We put those two yellow players. One is in the middle. This would be your center mid again. One is on the outside. Next, we go into 3v3 plus 3 now. The 3 in yellow are not going to exchange. It's just the red against the blue. And you can see one of the yellows in the middle. This is a less complicated game when you only have one teammate in the middle compared to two. If you have two teammates in the middle, it becomes a little bit more dynamic and they have to watch their spacing. Next, this is a nice simple one. I actually really like this one when kids first get to training. It's 1 against 1 plus 1 neutral. So it's 2v1, right? The yellow is the plus player. Always making good angles for each other in a real simple format here. You can make this a 10 by 10 little square and it's 2v1. If you give up possession, you join the guy in the yellow. Now we get into a nice 4 against 4. You have the 4 red against the 4 blue. Now here's where it gets a little bit more dynamic in the middle, right? You have the 2 yellow players, you have 2 on the outside. Maybe these are your 2 center mids, constantly finding open pockets of space. And they always need to know where each others are, and they do not want to run into each other's passing lanes. So if the ball is, say, out here, you wouldn't want to stand in back, right? You want to open up so you could create more passing lanes and more passing options. And that's why in positional play, players aren't running all over the place. You don't want to run through the other person's passing angles. This is a really nice exercise here. It says 5v3, as you can see here. The 2 reds are in this channel. After X amount of passes, blue plays it in, and obviously the reds would then go in here. 2 reds would stay, and 3 would go in. Now we're looking at a little bit different. Now this is 5 versus 5 plus 2. Kind of looks like this one right here a little bit, right? But we added another player. So now this is even a little bit more complicated. For the 2 yellows in the middle, really have to do a good job at finding your spaces, knowing where the other player in the middle is, and again, always scanning a proper body orientation. Now, this is the same exercise, but we've added a blue player. We've thrown a yellow player on the outside. So really this is the same exercise. We just rotated the players to the outside. This is nice. This is right here, 4v2 transfer rondo, as these 2 outside players would shift after 3 passes maybe, and this one would turn around as the reds would follow the ball. Now we added a player in the middle to make this a little bit more sophisticated here. Same transfer rondo, right? Now you have 2 here, maybe simulating 2 center backs, 2 outside backs, 1 here, same thing. Ball gets transferred to the other side, and we move. Now we look at 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6v2, and this would be played 1 touch. You can notice the shape on this. Now we've added a 3rd defender, so we now up this to 7v3, and we added another player in the middle here, so it's 7v3, all 1 touch. This player in the middle really has to, again, find the pockets of space and always have good body orientation. As you can see, this one here, this is going to be 6, 8, 9 versus 3. Again, this would all be 1 touch. This game is very similar to this one over here. It's another one that I really enjoy. We've been doing this one for years, 2v2 plus 1. Again, you could keep this a smaller area. It's always 3 against 2, always creating nice passing angles for each other. Here we go, coming down the home stretch here. Here we have 3v3 plus 2. Notice the 2 are on the outside. This is a 4v1. You could play this 1 touch, and you can make this a mandatory 2 touch. If you make it mandatory 2 touch, obviously the defender in the middle has a little better chance. 4 versus 2. Now we have a 4v4 plus 2, and the 2 yellows are in the middle. This would be a one-touch game here. You have 6v2. You could make this two-touch as well. 8 versus 2. Now take a look at this. We have 4 in the middle on red, 2 blue in the middle, and then obviously you have blue teammates, 4 on the outside. 6 on the outside, so it's 8 versus 4. Here, if you wanted to, you could make 1 touch on the outside, 2 touch on the inside, or 2 touch on the outside, 1 touch on the inside, and keep varying. A lot of variations that you could put into this. Now here we started to build this bigger now. This is 6 versus 6 plus 4. So we have 2 in the middle. Obviously they have to find their space, and the space gets even harder to find. Not run through each other's passing lanes, create good angles. You have 2 yellows on the outside. Now we start to get into, this is a little bit game model rondo if you're going to play a 7v7 game model with the younger kids. Center back, outside back, 2 center mids and a striker, correct? And then this is sort of a game model positional rondo. We take that a little step further. We split this into 3 zones. Outside backs here, center back, 2 center mids, and a striker against 3. You have to stay in your zones. Once the kids get used to it, maybe you can allow one of the center mids or a striker to veer into either outside zone. Now we have 3 different colors, obviously. So we have, this is the back 3 here, and then we have 2 center mids and the striker, and now we're scoring on goal. If the red team intercepts, what happens is these 2 outside players stay as their outside backs, and this new center back comes in and actually plays for red as this center back steps off the field. So this is a game that goes to goal. So there you go. There's like 26 positional play exercises that I think pull out the right ones for you. Try them all out, and I think your teams will really enjoy it.